Today, we're going to be talking about how you're getting nowhere in your life. I'm just kidding. Well, maybe you are. Maybe you're in a rut. Maybe you're stuck. We're going to do our best to try to get rid of that wall, with that brick wall, whether it is whenever you're trying to learn a new skill or you feel like you hit a wall and it's preventing you from reaching the next level on achieving that desired outcome or result that you want, that goal, right? So first of all, we need to keep in mind that we need a goal. We need a goal in here. We need a goal sometimes externally to go after. So first of all, you got to define your goal, right? So what are you trying to achieve? What are you trying to go after, right? What skill are you trying to build? You've got to ask yourself these questions. Sit down, journal, ask yourself what truly means something to you. Whenever you get that pull, get motivated, and something that makes you feel alive, something that makes it feel worthwhile, really, it just really gets you going, right? Without a goal, without a purpose, without something that you're trying to build, you really have nothing to live for. You know, how can you expect the need to express your energy whenever there's nothing to work toward? So if you feel low energy, that's because you have nothing to work towards. So let's talk about Tony Robbins' success cycle. As you can see here, this is the Tony Robbins success cycle. How do you use it? Well, first of all, we've got potential. We all intuitively know that we've got a lot of potential. We're capable of a lot. But why, if people are capable of so much potential, why don't they take action? Why aren't they getting anywhere? Why do they feel like their energy dwindles down, right? First of all, I already told you in the beginning of this video, you need a purpose, man. You need a purpose, man, or else you're gonna have nothing to live for, you know? So we start off, we know we've got a lot of potential, right? Action, like, why would you take action whenever you have nothing to take action on, right? So have a purpose, have a goal, and then once you take action, right, you get this way results, right? And so those results create certainty and belief, right? But you might be wondering, if you know you got a lot of potential, if you took action and then you got really crappy, shitty results, then your certainty and your belief dwindles down, right? So how do we bypass this loop? How do we just instantly, effortlessly, and naturally just create? We start off with like high certainty, high belief. That's why we have this. We have our imagination. Our imagination, you know? You guys probably know the reference. Anyways, you use your imagination and you visualize whatever you're working on, whatever outcome or goal that you have, visualize you getting it perfectly. You're just mentally rehearsing you getting that goal, you getting that outcome, and you're doing it flawlessly. You're doing it better and better. And practice like achieving that goal to the extent, and make it like big, bright, and vivid, right? Just make it feel super alive, make it like 360 in your mind, and you just feel real. You feel the feelings that you would feel whenever you attained that goal. And just little by little, you'll start to notice, the more you do that, the feelings within you start growing. You start getting more certainty, more belief in yourself, right? Anytime you're having doubts, you reinforce that mental imagery, that movie. Just make a movie out of it, right? Like as if it's truly there. And so once you've got that video, that mental loop of you achieving that goal, taking action, achieving that goal, you know, you already start feeling this, right? And guess what? With higher energy, your potential goes up. It goes up, right? And so we already started, right? We started developing the certainty, the belief. Now we go to the potential. Our potential is raising more and more. And now we take action, right? And we confidently take action. And you got to take massive action in order to see massive results. And so whenever you get those results, and guess what? Whenever you're in a higher state and you take massive action, you know, in a better state, you just get better results. And even if they are crappy results, you can still be confident. You'll still be in a good state, and then you'll perceive your results as being like, meh, whatever. We'll try again, right? Your certainty belief stays the same, or if it is good results, then that'll actually reinforce even better feelings and higher certainty and higher belief within yourself. And this cycle, this loop goes on and on and on and on and on. You get better and better and better. Higher certainty, higher belief, equals higher potential, utilizing more of your potential, take even bigger action and get even bigger results, and it keeps going on and on and on. Imagine it the other way around. If we were going backwards, all right? You started off, I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it. I don't believe in myself. Right? And then, sorry, not the other way around. Anyways, I meant to say the same way around, but you start off with poor confidence, poor belief in yourself. Your potential dwindles because you don't want to, you put yourself in a box. You don't think you're capable, so your potential, you're willing to express yourself that much less in this endeavor, right? This skill, this desired outcome. And so you take really small action, and the action that you take is really like crap quality, and the results that you get are complete crap. They're utter dog shit, and so that dwindles down your belief even smaller, and then you just end up dropping off on a spiral, and you just eventually give up on your goals and your life. Anyways, so moving on to the actual flow chart to how to actually have a good process in learning a skill and building a skill, and as well as moving towards your desired outcome in life. Here is the universal skill acquisition loop. The way that I drew this flow chart is specifically for any skill. You got to define your goal and whatever skill that you want to develop. I want to become a pianist, like a pretty decent pianist, right? You acquire a model, and by the way, let me emphasize, questions are extremely important. One of the best things you can do, what's the point of a question? To direct your awareness, to direct your mind towards getting better at a skill that much more quicker and that much more efficiently. The more higher quality your questions are, the more higher quality your answers are, meaning you're going to be able to cut corners and prevent bumps in the road before they even happen. By asking yourself the questions, you can find the right resources, you can anticipate future events from coming up, you could reduce risk, you can whatever. Moving on, the universal skill acquisition loop. So you define the goal. I want to become a pianist, right? Acquire a model. You find somebody that's really good, right? Either the best, or if you want to start off with the fundamentals, you find somebody that's in your nearby community. You could work with them one-on-one. You can ask, where else can I learn how to play the keys, right? YouTube, we've got lots of resources. You could buy books. You could get free resources online, right? All these things require questions. Number 3, understand the principles. What are the principles? What is present, and what has to be in place for me to learn how to play the piano? I got to understand the keys, the mapping, the layout, how my fingers are supposed to, be on the keyboard. What are the principles on the musical notes? You'll notice all the musical notes are all the same for all across, all the different instruments. And so you got to understand those principles. Number 4, practice in a controlled environment. Find a space for yourself to play. You get a piano, a small, cheap one, whatever, and to set up wherever you feel like you're very comfortable. You're not going to be judged, and you could practice at your best, right? And then you test. You keep hearing yourself. You're playing. Man, that doesn't sound right. You play. You try to follow the notes. Man, that doesn't sound right, right? And you gather feedback from yourself, right? Because it's a feedback loop. Or if you finally have the guts to ask somebody to listen to you, you can ask your friend to listen to you and gather the feedback that way, right? And if they say, man, that was pretty garbage, then you could be like, oh, okay, cool. I can refine this and that. And we go back to the success cycle. You imagine yourself playing the keys absolutely effortlessly. You feel good. You build up more of that potential. You take action. You play the keynotes, and then you get some results. Man, they're not the best, but because you're already in a good state, that certainty or belief stay the same. And especially if you keep playing that mental scene, that movie in your head, then you're not going to be phased, right? And then eventually you'll start to take action and get actually good results. Then the loop is just going to get better and better, and you're going to get better at playing the keyboard, playing the piano. You keep refining your model. Eventually you'll get good enough that you'll master the fundamentals, and then you're just going to find better people to copy, and eventually you're going to get so good that you're the best, and you can start creating your own patterns and different songs that you're going to play off the top of your head by heart. And then repeat until the desired competence, and repeat the same process. Repeat this whole process until you've got it, until you're satisfied, right? There's always better. There's always you can do better, no matter how far you go in anything. And keep these principles in mind, guys, right? Knowledge without action produces no feedback, okay? Action without feedback produces no improvement, and feedback without updating your model produces no growth, right? Or feedback without updating your skill produces no growth. The loop only works when all four pieces are in place: knowledge, action, feedback, and then updating your model, right? And that leads to growth. You keep repeating that, and eventually you'll become the best in whatever it is that you want to become the best at. The most abstract way that I'll put it is progress comes from repeatedly comparing reality to your current understanding, then updating that understanding based on what reality is teaching you. And I'll just go over it one more time, because the more I repeat it, the more it gets ingrained in your head, and the more it gets ingrained in my head, so I'm benefiting from it as well. So a first principles version, if you strip away all the field-specific language, all the skill-specific language, the process becomes: number one, define the desired outcome. Number two, find or develop the best current model in order to work towards that outcome. Number three, understand the model's underlying principles. Number four, apply the model, measure the outcome that the model gives you. Number six, compare the outcome to the goal, and then identify the gap between the outcome you just got or you're currently getting and the goal, your desired goal that you want to get, right? And then 8, update or refine the model if necessary, in order to get closer and closer to your desired goal, right? And then 9, repeat until the gap is acceptably small between the outcome that you're getting and the desired goal or result that you want in whatever it is that you're working towards. Thank you so much for watching today, this latest video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully that gave you guys a little bit more insight to how to just take control and keep things concrete and stop getting lost in the day-to-day, motions of things, and really look at it with like a bird's eye view and be like, okay, what am I doing? This is the part of the process that I'm in. Step back. Okay, cool. Let's reconsider. All right, things are not going my way. Let's change something up. Let's test again, right? Because like I said, that whole feedback loop, you got to keep that in mind. If it still didn't stick into your head, rewatch this a second time, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Strive to become limitless and kill it, guys.